everyone, and welcome back to A Jolly Good Life. And in this video, if you would like to learn how to make this little guy, then keep watching, because this is the craft we're going to make today. So let's start with what you're going to need. In the description box, I'm going to write all the supplies that I actually use. But as I am going through the supplies that you may or may not need, don't forget that there's lots of options. For example, as I will mention, you can use orange Sharpie, you can use acrylic paint, or you can use a piece of felt or construction paper for the nose. So there are a lot of options, but I will write down exactly what I used for this little snowman. Okay, so the supplies that you're gonna need are, I got 2 of these little round bowl vases that are near the picture frames at the Dollar Tree. I got 2 of those. I bought 1 little hat ornament at the Dollar Tree. This is just an ornament. You're going to need some sort of ribbon for the scarf of your snowman. So I'm not too sure if I'm going to use that one or this one, but they do sell ribbon at the Dollar Tree. These, I believe I bought half off after Christmas, either last year or the year before. I've had these for a while, so whatever ribbon you choose to use. You're going to need some sort of frosted glass spray paint. I bought this one at Walmart. It's RUST-OLEUM. I'm sure they have it at Target or Home Depot, Lowe's. Any of the big box stores I'm sure has frosted spray paint, and I bought the RUST-OLEUM. You're going to need an orange Sharpie and a black Sharpie. Or if you don't have a Sharpie, you might have orange nail polish, even orange felt or construction paper that you can cut into the little nose of your snowman, but I'm just going to use Sharpies. I bought these 2 little tea lights at the Dollar Tree, so that's optional. I'm going to put it at the bottom when I set him up to light him up, but that's totally optional. You don't have to buy them, but I bought these 2 at the Dollar Tree. This is also optional. I bought this little square mirror to display my snowman on, and this was also bought at the Dollar Tree. So I got this E6000 at Walmart. I got the little ones, and that's going to be used to glue the 2 bowls together to form the snowman. And then I am going to use my glue gun for the scarf. And last but not least, I have this little alcohol swab. It's just a lens cleaning wipe, but it's just like a little alcohol wipey. And I'm just going to wipe the outside of the bowls before I spray paint them. What I'm gonna do, you could probably use just some cotton balls or a tissue with some alcohol, some rubbing alcohol, just to get the oils from your skin or anything else that might have gotten on the bowl. Alright, so let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is spray paint the little bowls, which are going to end up being the body and the head of the snowman. So I'm just going to take the little wipey, and like I said before, this is going to be just to wipe off any of the oils from your hands that may be on here, or anybody else that may have handled these. After I wipe them off, I'm going to be very careful to touch them as little as possible. Now, I'm not too sure if that's going to make a big difference when you spray paint it, but I like to have it as smooth as I possibly can. Okay, so let's go outside and I'll show you how I'm going to spray paint these real quick, and then we'll continue. Alright, so of course you're going to want to shake up your spray paint really well. Once again, this is a RUST-OLEUM frosted glass, semi-transparent finish. And you're going to give both of them on the outside very light coats. As you can see, after only a light spray, you can definitely see the frost effect. Now if you're doing this on a nicer table, make sure that you cover your work area. This is just our outside table that we really don't use much. And you can see it starting to frost up right in front of your very eyes as it dries. I'll probably give this coat about 5 or 6 minutes. Then I'll lightly touch it to see if it's dry enough. I'll pick it up and see if there are any spots that I want to go over again. And then I'll give it another 5 or 6 minutes and then we'll continue. Alright, so here are the glass jars after they have dried. Alright, so I placed the camera where you can see what I'm doing here on the table, hopefully. What you're going to do is put the open side face down. And then the next one you're going to put with the open side face up. So this one's going to go just as you normally would put it. And what we're going to do is get a little bit of your E6000. Make sure you don't get any of this on your hands. Be really careful. You don't need too much. Put a nice circle, a little bit in the middle there, this E6000. And we're going to place this, center it on top. Putting a little bit of pressure on there for a couple seconds and you should be good. And he should be cured 100% in about 24 hours. So we're going to move on to this part. We're just going to go ahead and cut the little part off of the hat that would hang it from your tree. Then we're going to get the hot glue gun. So what we're going to do is put a thin bead of hot glue around the edge of the top, and then we're going to simply very carefully place his hat on and hold it for a few seconds. So let's go ahead and do that now. And don't worry if you get a little bit of glue where you could see it. All you gotta do is get your nail or something sharp and it comes off of the glass very easily. And likewise, if you see a little part that didn't really stick, all you gotta do is get some glue and fill it in. Re-glue that little part and hold it down. Alright, so his little hat is glued on. Now you're gonna just use your Sharpie, and I'm going to turn him towards me to do this because I'm going to make 2 little eyes. I'm going to use the Sharpie for a little carrot nose, which is going to be just a little triangle facing up, kind of swooped, and then a little smiley face. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to face him towards me in order to do that. And there's his little face. Now of course you can use orange felt for the face. You can use orange acrylic paint for the nose. If you wanted to go out and buy some just little black buttons for the eyes, you could do that as well. And then you can also hot glue them on the front. That's totally up to you. Let your creativity flow. So now I'm going to put his little scarf on. I decided to use this burlap ribbon that I already had because he has got burlap on the top of his hat. I'm trying not to, I'm being very careful with him because he's not cured and he won't be cured until tomorrow. I'm going to go ahead and put his scarf on. It's a little more difficult doing it facing away from me, but you guys get the picture. It's pretty easy, whatever ribbon you choose, cut it to the length that you want to make his scarf. I think I'm going to make it a little bit longer only because I can always go back and cut it, but once I cut it I can't add to it, if that makes any sense. I'm going to go ahead and turn him towards me once again. What I'm going to do is I'm going to glue on the side because I want his scarf to be on the side there. So I'm going to glue it to the glass. Right here, I'm going to glue the first piece here, and then I'm going to glue the second piece on top of that one. So let me go ahead and glue him, and then I will turn him back around for you guys. You don't need too much glue for his scarf, and be very careful because it will go right through the, depending on the ribbon that you're using, it might go right through the ribbon and in onto your fingers. Okay, so I'm just holding that on there for a second. I think he's looking pretty good. Now originally I was going to go ahead and draw his buttons on with the Sharpie, but I have decided to glue his little buttons on with some hot glue right along the front. I think I'm only going to do 2 of them. I don't think 3 is necessary. Let's see if I could do this with him facing away from me. Let's see where his middle is. I think right there is good, and maybe right there. Don't want to put too much because then it'll be leaking. It'll drop. So let's put his first button on, and I gotta be a little bit quick because it's already starting to dry up. It's a little off. Maybe I should have faced them towards me. Okay, no worries. I'm gonna pop his buttons off. That's the beauty of hot glue. I'm simply peeling off the hot glue because that did not work out trying to do it facing away from me. So that's all come off. I'm gonna go ahead and center the buttons while I'm looking at him. So I'm gonna go ahead and center the buttons and redo it. Maybe he'll be more centered this time. Alright, I think that is much better, much more centered. I got the little glass here, and that is to display him. And I also bought these little tea lights, like I showed you, at the Dollar Tree. And that is going to be to place under my snowman. I also wanted to quickly mention one more thing. If you happen to have any of these little picks laying around, they sell them Hobby Lobby, Dollar Tree. This one's actually from the Dollar Tree. And you want to just clip off a little part of it, whatever you like. I'm going to clip off these little berries just to spruce up his little scarf here. That is also an option. So just get creative. This was $1. You can make plenty of other crafts with this same thing. You might also have, other than just buying Christmas or holiday pick for this reason, you might also just have an old decoration around the house, an old centerpiece, something that you're thinking about getting rid of. Well, don't forget, you can always keep the little parts and use them in other ways and recycle them instead of just throwing them out. I think that'll give it a cute little touch. I'll let it dry. And there you go. I hope you guys enjoyed this craft. I think it would be a really cute gift, as well as just a decoration for yourself. And he was quite inexpensive. Really, you can make him, the jars were $1 each, so that's $2. His hat was $3. Also, if you have some buttons and you choose to use buttons and you don't have black, don't forget, why can't you take a Sharpie or black nail polish and just paint your buttons that you have at home to use for your snowman. Also, if you don't have an orange Sharpie, like I said, you can use something other than an orange Sharpie. So all these things you can actually do pretty inexpensively. The glue gun for the hat and the E6000 for the most expensive thing was the little pack of E6000. I hope you guys had fun making this cute little craft with me. I think he's really cute. I think he would be a good gift for someone, as well as just something for you to make to decorate your own house. So if you want to see more crafts like this, stick with me because there will be more crafts coming. Until next time, we'll see you. Thanks for taking time out of your day and joining me here on A Jolly Good Life. Have a wonderful day. Bye.